Hello, everybody. I'm going to be speaking to you about the difference between rotation and revolution, and also about terrestrial coordinates, which means the coordinate system of the Earth. So here we have the Earth, wonderful planet we live on. Okay, so there is a top of the Earth and a bottom of the Earth. We know the name of the top of the Earth is called the North Pole. The bottom of the Earth is called the South Pole. And then there's a line that goes around the middle of the Earth known as the equator. I think we all know that. But anyways, what defines north and south is actually because the Earth is rotating. So the Earth is rotating. This is the motion of the Earth around the axis of rotation. So where the axis touches the top of the Earth is called the North Pole. Where the axis touches the bottom of the Earth is called the South Pole. So this is rotation, rotation. So we're going to talk about which direction the Earth rotates in a little while, but that is rotation. What's the difference between rotation and revolution? So revolution refers to the orbit of one object around another object. So here we have the sun, we have the Earth, and we have the little moon here, right? So we'll notice that the Earth is orbiting the sun, that's a revolution, and the moon is orbiting the Earth, that's a revolution as well. So you can see, right, this is the Earth orbiting around the sun. This is a revolution, right? So one revolution of the Earth around the sun takes 1 year, and one rotation of the Earth takes 1 day. Okay, so this is back to the Earth again, rotation. So we have a system of measuring the location of anything on the surface of the Earth. It's known as longitude and latitude, and probably most of you remember how this works, but I do want to review with you some of the important ideas, right? So when you start up with you're going to start with the equator, there's actually a special line that drops down from the North Pole to the South Pole. These are called Meridian Lines. And one of them is special. It's called the Prime Meridian. And the reason it's special, it's 0 degrees longitude, right? So the reason it's 0 is because the first observations that created this system were made in Greenwich, England, which is where the Royal Observatory is. And that's why 0 degrees longitude is there. It's known as the Prime Meridian. So you can see there is a line that drops down from the top to the bottom, right? From the north to the south, okay? And that is the 0 degrees longitude line. So now, here is Africa and Europe, and over here is the United States. We are to the west, right? So if you start at this meridian, and you go this way, you're going west, and if you go this way, you're going east. If you're on the equator, you are at 0 degrees latitude. If you go up, we call that north, and if you go down, we call that south. So the numbers are a little bit kind of important for you to know. When you go around the equator, along the equator, the longitude, right? We said that this is west longitude. The numbers start at 0 when you're here, and the biggest number you can get to is 180 degrees west. And if you go in this direction, right, that's called east. And again, the biggest number you can get to is 180 degrees. 180 and 180 adds up to 360 degrees. So they are actually the same point on the back of the Earth. It's called the antipodal point, and it would be right here. And this is 180 degrees east or 180 degrees west longitude, okay? If you go up above the equator, we call that latitude. And again, it's angle, it's degrees, and you start with the equator at 0, and you go up, and to the North Pole, it's 90 degrees north latitude. And same thing, if you go down south to the South Pole, it's 90 degrees south latitude. We live in Santa Barbara right now, at least I do. You may be living in another location. If I go to Santa Barbara, this is a little fact you need to know. Santa Barbara is 34 degrees north latitude. Okay, so that's just a little tiny bit of information about rotation, revolution, and the terrestrial coordinate system. Thank you.